children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, coming at you with another episode of Nerd Needs. That's right, it's the show where I share with all of you all the things that I need from deep down inside my nerd soul. And children of the screen, you know what I need? I need a live action adaptation of The Suffering. For those of you who don't know, The Suffering is a first and third person shooter psychological horror survival game released in 2004, followed up by the sequel, The Suffering Ties That Bind, released the next year, both of which were released across multiple platforms. These games tell the story of Torque, a prisoner of death row convicted of the brutal murder of his wife and 2 children, a crime for which he has no memory. After a horrible series of earthquakes on the island prison where he's being held, all hell literally breaks loose as wave after wave of monstrous creature attacks. Through the course of these games, we see Torque attempting to survive, escape the island prison, and return home to confront his past, all while having to make many moral decisions that affect the outcome of the game. Both games debuted to mostly positive reviews, and then in 2005, MTV Films, along with Midway, announced that they were intending to do an adaptation of both games. At that time, Stan Winston Studios was attached to do the creature effects, but there were no other creative personnel attached, and since then we've had no updates or further developments. The project seems to have gone dark. Which is a shame, guys, because not only would that be a super awesome, fun movie, and it would also fill that void that's now been left by the totally awful Resident Evil live action movies, but it is also like the perfect playground for a filmmaker as well as the perfect fodder for adapting a video game into a movie. And here are like the main 3 reasons why, okay? Number 1, the plot is super simple and streamlined. Yes, in the game it becomes a little convoluted in places as it's trying to like add more levels and layers to things, but it would be very easy to clear out all the excess and just do a straight through, very quick, easy story. Number 2, the character of Torque, while he has a backstory and plenty of characteristics assigned to him, he's not much of a character, which while in a game doesn't create very like empathetic gameplay with that character, it does leave you as a writer and a filmmaker and as the actor playing that character a lot of room to kind of develop the character in ways that the game didn't really take the opportunity to do. Number 3, the creatures. Holy crap, guys, the creatures in these games are so freaking dope. The first game takes influence and design inspiration from different methods of execution, whereas the second game, because you're going back into the city, all of the creatures there appear kind of as manifestations of different kinds of street violence. And man, you let any creature design crew worth half their weight in salt work on this film and you're going to end up with some amazingly cool creatures. You got these guys who have like syringes coming out of their back that they pull out and throw at you. You have these other guys who are like gun turrets who are like 3 dudes stuck together. All kinds of crazy stuff you can do, and so much stuff that they could do to expand upon it. And guys, that's not even it, because I failed to mention this earlier. Torque can turn into a freaking monster himself. That's right. As you're going through this game making your moral choices and such, they all basically lead to different outcomes, but one of the things it also does is fill up this like rage meter or this monster meter that you have. And when it gets full enough, you can totally Hulk out and turn into this huge, disgusting thing with a blade on your hand and just cut through all of your enemies like that. It is insane. And guys, I am a big fan of these games, and I don't play a lot of games, but they're really awesome games. I really love them, and I know they do have a huge fan base, but one of the other great things about using this as fodder for adaptation is it's not as well known of as a lot of other games of this style, so it really gives you the opportunity to take a lot more liberties with the story, the creatures, the characters, and because this game, where it shifts its focus, all those things are kind of left more open than they are in a lot of other games, so you have a lot of room to develop it. It would be absolutely awesome and absolutely perfect. But if you're going to do that, there are 3 things that you absolutely have to have. That is a director, a writer, and a bankable star. So, for the writer and the director, why don't we go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and we go with Neil Marshall. Known for films like The Descent, Doomsday, as well as TV shows such as Game of Thrones, Lost in Space 2018, Westworld, and Hannibal. Neil Marshall is the perfect choice. He is a great writer, he is a great director, and as you heard from the list of movies and TV shows he's worked on, he's worked with a wide range of effects and actors and crews all over the world. He is absolutely versed in the kind of movie and all the style and all the efforts that have to go into making this kind of movie a great movie. And he is just the perfect choice. I can't think of anyone better. So, since we have the writer and the director taken care of, the next thing we need is a bankable star. Now, over the years, I've thought of one main actor in the role of Torque, and that's the only role we're going to be casting today. But over the years, as he's gotten older and as I've seen new people come up, I've kind of got a secondary choice. So I'm going to go ahead and give both of them to you. First off, we have Patel, who you might know from Doctor Strange, Children of Men, 12 Years a Slave, and Serenity. He is a very talented, highly trained, highly versatile actor who puts 110% into every role that he does. And he doesn't really get a lot of chances to play the kind of street thug, but with his charisma and the kind of animal brutality that we've been able to see him bring to certain roles, I have no doubt that he can make Torque a just terrifying presence who we could also kind of find ways to empathize with. So, for my second choice, I would go with Donald Glover, who you might know from Solo, Atlanta, or Community. While he's a much younger actor, he has been acting for quite a while. He's highly talented. He's now popular enough that having him as the lead in this movie, you could still bankroll it. And I think it would be really great to get to see him do something that's this far outside of the realm of the things that we normally see him associated with. Take all those elements and put them together, I have no doubt that you have a absolutely awesome movie that people would go out in droves to see whether they knew about the game or not, which would also give you the opportunity to re-release the game in a remastered format, maybe available as downloadable content or something like that. Give the game a boost, maybe we could get another sequel going, because man, they are awesome games, and I need there to be this movie, man. I need it. I need it. That's just me, guys. Did you ever play The Suffering? Do you think it's good fodder to make a movie? How do you feel about video game movies in general? Do you think they should just leave it alone? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please leave a like and share it with some friends. That's more important now than ever, with everything YouTube's changing up on small YouTubers like myself. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit that little bell so you can get updates on all the dope content I'll have coming out in the future. Furthermore, guys, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I will have the link for that in the description below. Thank you very much, children of the screen. I hope you all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.